assignment on Scotty Barnes. That's a different assignment for you in this game. What goes into that challenge?
Just knowing where everyone is on defensive end. It's been different the past 3 games, being on Ingram the first 3, but just having the bigs really communicate Jay and Ev communicating to me where they're at and who's screening and where they're screening is the biggest thing. He moves so much, brings the ball up. They use him more as a point guard, so he definitely brings his own challenges.
Dean, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan?
All right, George, thank you very much. Very thoughtful answers there from Dean Wade. Start of the second quarter, this game for Ryan Ruocco, Jay Billis, George Sedano with you. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Doubleheader today on ESPN. Portland, San Antonio up next. Here's Sam Merrill in off the bench. It's just keeping that right toe down. Mobley off the mark. Barrett the rebound. Both teams had their lowest scoring quarter of the series in that first. Barrett can't finish it. Pirtle, no. Barnes gets a good look. Wow, way off. And Toronto is now 0 for 13 from 3. 0 for 11 was their worst three-point quarter in playoff history as Schroeder again sneaks in for 2.
Well, he's driving matchups that he can drive. He drove Jamison Battle, then had Pirtle on him in transition, decided to put his head down and take it to the rim.
Barnes gets hacked from behind, and Toronto will shoot its first free throws of the day.
Toronto's had some open threes. Jacoby Walter from the left side. Scotty Barnes, that last one, kicking it back out. R.J. Barrett has missed an open one, so they've not all been contested. They need to start knocking some of the incredibly successful in Game 3.
And they were 8 of 9 from 3 in the fourth quarter of Game 3. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming playoff schedule brought to you by New Balance. Today on ESPN, Spurs Blazers Game 4. San Antonio with a 2-1 series lead after their big comeback in Game 3. Tonight on NBC and Peacock, it'll be the Celtics and the Sixers. Game 4, Boston with a 2-1 edge. And then the Lakers trying to sweep the Rockets. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
How good was Dylan Harper against the Blazers in their last game? He had 27. Victor Wembanyama was out in the concussion protocol. That was a heck of a win.
We talked about how Murray Boyles was the first rookie since Al Horford to have 20 on 70% shooting in a playoff game. Well, Harper did it the next day. As Schroeder slips it in, Dennis Schroeder has 8 points in 6 minutes. He played just 5 minutes in Game 3.
He is finding opportunities and matchups that he can drive and use his speed, and he has been very effective. Toronto is staying in gaps, almost giving zone looks. And when he has a matchup he can drive, that has been a big part of this Cleveland lead.
An 11-2 edge and bench points for Cleveland. Walter, no. Barnes battling, Tyson winning. Here comes Cleveland. Look out, Mamukelashvili. Read it, intercepts it. Barnes can't muscle it in, gets it back, and gets fouled. Persistent pursuit from Scotty Barnes, who will shoot 2.
And you just can't make that pass. That's not even a diagonal pass. That's a cross-court pass that Mamukelashvili picked off easily. And great second effort and third effort by Scotty Barnes on the offensive glass. But Ryan, this is just a pass you cannot make. Schroeder thrown to cross court, and Mamukelashvili picks it off easily. Found it so difficult to score in the half court in the first quarter and into the second.
And if there was one thing that you hear every single coach and player talk about why playoff basketball is different, they talk about the value of each and every possession.
So you turn the ball over there, obviously you're not getting a shot, you're not getting a chance for an offensive rebound, you're not getting a chance to pick up a foul. Those are 3 really good things you're giving up.
Keon Ellis in off the bench for Cleveland. Here's Harden off to Ellis. He will fire. No. Mobley the rebound. Merrill, a sharpshooter. Can't hit either. No one can. Cleveland 2 of 12 from 3 now. Toronto 0 for 14.
Really smart to bring the double at Harden. He's being guarded by Mamukelashvili. And rather than leave Mamukelashvili on an island, they brought the double.
Barrett, guarded by Harden. Barrett can't bank it in. Mobley fending off Pirtle. Mamukelashvili the rebound.
Pirtle keeps another one alive.
Barnes the kick out. Walter to the corner. Barrett connects.
Those are the kind of threes that Toronto hit in Game 3. Getting it into the paint, kicking it out, the extra swing to get that corner three.
First three for Toronto after missing their first 14 attempts. Ellis fights back for the basketball and wins it. Here's Harden.
Toronto's really packing it in.
And Harden finally finds some room in the paint.
Really packing it in, showing a lot of bodies to the ball.
7 points for Harden. He's 3 of 4 from the floor. Here's Barrett into the paint himself. Spray it out. Merrill deflects it. And that'll trickle out of bounds all the way down the floor. As Dean Wade, Jared Allen will check in. Mobley to the bench. He has 2 fouls. Barnes will get a breather. Walter will check out for Toronto. Will reset the lineups. Mamukelashvili, Shed, Pirtle, Barrett, and Brandon Ingram trying to check in for Toronto. They only have 4 players on the floor. And Cleveland with Ellis, Wade, Merrill, Harden, and Allen.
Only 7 seconds left.
And so Cleveland got to put pressure in the backcourt. Shed flings it ahead. Ingram into the lane. Ingram still can't finish. Brandon Ingram, 1 of 8. Really has struggled in this series scoring the basketball.
Jared Allen does such a good job of getting down the floor, changing ends, and getting quick post position.
I mean, that's just going to be a backcourt violation. Harden was trying to sell the push, but nobody bought it.
It wasn't a push, he just got the ball knocked at you. When he was in high school, he wound up playing center on his high school team. He had a small team, so he had to guard opposing centers. They wound up winning the state title.
Incredible. At 6'1". Murray Boyle, speaking of playing bigger than you are.
Just a beautiful finish. The lefty adjusting in the air around the bucket.
Harden gives it up. Merrill connects on a 3. A rare make from deep in this first half for either team.
Yeah, most of the time you're surprised when an open 3 is missed.
Yeah.
It's been a surprise in this game to see a make because the shooting has been below what we expect.
It's a kind interpretation. Cleveland.
Consensus view before the playoffs started was that series could be a sweep, but nobody was thinking it'd be the Lakers doing the sweeping. Really been impressive.
A touchdown lead for Cleveland here midway through the second quarter of Game 4. Merrill, not that time. Allen got a hand on him. Murray Boyles collects. Ingram look at a push. Cleveland is back.
This zone look defensively has really affected Cleveland, but Toronto's got to do something on the offensive end. They're not getting anything to go.
And Jay, a lot of looks as Barrett gets fouled there. A lot of looks around the rim. Not clean looks, but some looks in the paint that Toronto just has not been able to finish.
Well, you do have some length around the rim with Jared Allen. And then Dean Wade's got some length and size. Kobe Walter in his last 2 games, he's 0 for 11. He had 14 points in Game 2, hit 3 threes. But he's missed his last 11 shots, had a bagel in Game 3, and same thing thus far.
And Walter's a guy who shot 41% from three-point range on the season.
And he's done some really good things in this game. You know, he's rebounded, passed the ball well, but we have not seen Toronto put the ball in the bucket from either the field or the foul line.
I mean, nobody's hitting free throws either, yeah. Toronto 2 of 6. Cleveland 1 of 5 from the line.
Yeah, the free throw defense has been magnificent.
Just as everybody expected. Wade has to put it up. It hits. Difficult shot there from Dean Wade, but able to make.
That's one of the things that you'll live with for Toronto.
Murray Boyles banks it in, plus the foul.
Really good pass by Jamal Shed, just surveying everything.
Young man Colin Murray Boyles talks about how he has a warrior mentality, so coachable.
He played his college ball at South Carolina, where I thought he was one of the 2 or 3 best players in the Southeastern Conference, and played on a team that finished last in the SEC in that great year they had, but that was the best last place team in a conference I'd ever seen. And what an amazing defender he is. He doesn't shoot it particularly well from the perimeter, but everything else, top shelf.
Stroud with some feelings on James Harden. Here's Barnes. Turns the corner, gets denied by Allen. Ellis, nice juke. Merrill, extra feed. And Merrill loses it out of bounds. Will stay here with Cleveland.
Boy, Jamal Shed had set a little screen in the middle of the lane to help free up Scotty Barnes. That's just a big-time block by Jared Allen to take away an easy bucket.
Harden gets it in. Merrill, too much on it. Shed flings it ahead. Murray Boyle